Kettlebell rotations are one of my favourite exercises for runners to improve their hip and pelvis stability. So by kettlebell rotation, I just mean standing on one foot and passing your kettlebell around your body one way and then the other way. Now the reason it's so good is it makes you subconsciously switch on all of the muscles that keep your hip and pelvis level, and that's really crucial to staying injury-free as a runner. So what happens is when you run, you land on one foot with quite a bit of body weight coming back up through your body. You have to be able to keep your hips and pelvis stable and level in order to reduce your risk of getting lots of injuries. So the more that this happens, so hip dropping or rotating and twisting, the more likely you are to pick up hip pain, knee pain, shin pain, hamstring tendinopathies, a whole bunch of common running injuries. And kettlebell rotations are a really good way to subconsciously train all those muscles to be coordinated to keep your hip and pelvis level. And it's a really simple exercise. So you literally just stand on one foot, pass it around your body. This is a 4 kilo kettlebell. You can use a 2-litre bottle of Coke or a can of paint or something else you might have lying around at home if you don't have kettlebells, but getting kettlebells is a good idea. So you go one way and then the other way. And the idea is you just have to stay upright. What I find with a lot of people is that they may have trained themselves to be quite good at bobbing up and down on one foot just through practice, but as soon as you throw something extra into the equation, like this round and round movement, their coordination goes downhill pretty quickly. So what happens is they stand on one foot, they pass this around, their other foot touches the ground, and they're super wobbly, and it's usually this type of a wobble from their hip. It's not necessarily lack of strength, it's often just a lack of coordination of all those muscles. And you want to train those muscles to be coordinated so it just happens subconsciously when you're running, and it's not something that you actually consciously have to think about. Now this is 4 kilos. I've been practicing it quite a lot, so 4 kilos doesn't feel too challenging, but it's amazing how much harder it is when you start adding more weight. This is 8 kilos, and I'm going to find this quite a bit harder. So around one way, around the other way. What you also might find is that you're good on one leg and not so good on the other. As you can see here, I'm struggling more on my left leg. So if you practice and that improves, it will make you more symmetrical when you're running, which is also beneficial for reducing injury risk. Now another way to make it harder, I'm going to go back to the 4 kilos, is to lift the weight higher. So if you do it around your head like this, your center of mass is higher, and so it's harder to balance. So that makes it quite a lot trickier, especially with the 8 kilos. You can do it with your eyes closed. So this takes your visual system out of the equation, which then means that you're relying on all of those proprioceptive mechanisms, so the little receptors in your joints and in your muscles, to send signals back to your brain to help you improve your stability. So I'm finding that pretty hard. And the other thing you could do is stand on an uneven surface, like a Bosu ball or an ankle wobble board. That makes it harder again because the surface is unstable and your coordination has to be even better in order to stay stable. So that's it, kettlebell rotations, one of my favorite exercises. They are massively beneficial for helping improve your hip and pelvis stability, and massively beneficial for help reducing your risk of getting a whole bunch of running injuries.